We were chatting before about African American History Month.
This is going to be a great show. Call your friends, have them tune in. AM 1220 KHTS or on the web as well, hometownstation.com, and call us. If you have any questions at all for our guests, 661-298-KHTS, 298-5487. And for my Facebook fans, just so you know, I am online right now on Facebook. If you have any questions, you can go that way as well too. And we're gonna have a Facebook account shortly, and we'd love to hear from you. So a great guest this morning.
Yes, well, part of, at Out West, part of what we do is we really look at everything that we carry and how it sits in history. And so I'm very taken with history and also with what drives people's passions and dreams. And was very fortunate to meet Joyce Fitzpatrick, who is our first guest. And she is an independent filmmaker, a documentary producer, writer, and director. And currently she's investing her creative juices, I love that, creative juices, in a documentary that highlights the life and times of Mary Fields, or as history calls her, Stagecoach Mary. And Joyce is with us today, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this African American figure in American history, and who was a former slave. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
How are you doing, Joyce?
I'm fine.
Welcome to Around the Barn.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
When we chatted, you shared a story about kind of how Mary Fields found you. Can you tell us a little bit about how Mary and you came to meet?
Well, actually, I lived in Pasadena for several years, which I love Pasadena. And I happened to be in an antique store purchasing something for a friend. And I picked up an old Ebony magazine just to browse through, and I saw an article on Stagecoach Mary, and I was just taken aback because I had no idea of who she was. And I read the entire story while I was there, and it was one of those aha moments. It was actually funny to me. I actually closed the magazine and actually looked around like, I cannot believe that I've never heard of this woman. I cannot believe there hasn't been a film made about her, to my knowledge, at that time. Mm-hmm. And I was so intrigued. And after that, I just began my journey of researching about her. And at that time, there really wasn't very much information. The internet was not as big as it is now. I'm not telling my age, but basically it wasn't. And I was starved for information. And so I just kept going, and people thought I was insane, because they said, who is this person? Mm-hmm. And it was amazing to me that not, many people had heard of her. But I just kept going, and I would find tidbits of information, and I'd just hold on to that, and I'd get more and more and more.
What was it about her story that just grabbed you, would you say?
Well, the adventurous side of her and the independence about her, and because she seemed to be so non-traditional for that time.
Yeah, what time period are we talking about?
In the early 1800s. Well, basically, the time she was doing the stagecoach, route was in the mid to late 80s, but 1880s. Mm-hmm. But still, basically, knowing that was after the Emancipation Proclamation, mm-hmm. the fact of her independence and freedom of where she was living at the time was unprecedented, yes. in my opinion, from yes. what I saw and read and researched. So that was what compelled me to find out more about her.
I think one of the fascinating things about history is when you start to see it through the eyes of the actual people. You learn how to dissolve stereotyping and generalities and things, because it's really a person's individual journey that takes them through history. And to be so captivated by her, that to me is so interesting, that she has really changed your life.
She has definitely changed.
And she had no idea
life.
She would do that.
No, I again, it was such a journey for me. And when I was so compelled, I actually have told people when I've showcased the film that I felt haunted, actually. And her life was very similar to mine in some way. But I actually jumped on a plane and went to Montana, and had never gone to Montana. I don't have relatives in Montana, nothing. And people thought, what are you doing?
Yeah, you were following her.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when I even walked up to her grave site, I was in tears, because I said, and I actually spoke to the grave. I said, I actually made it here. And there was no one else around. it was just a moment for me.
Right.
Like a siren's call?
Yes. And where the hillside cemetery is outside of Cascade, Montana, where she's buried, it's so serene and quiet, and it's beautiful. It's set up against a hillside. Just amazing. And just amazing.
Where, can you tell us just briefly, kind of with her life journey, sort of where did she start, and you're going to go to a break in just a second, so just quickly kind of where did she start, and you told us where she ends up, but kind of where does she begin?
Well, of course she was born in the early 1800s,
1832.
Yes, 32. And basically she was a slave, owned by the Dunn family. And basically she gained her freedom there as well. And then as she, in her early 20s, 30s, she went to Toledo.
Okay, so you went to Ohio,
there,
okay.
Yes, and then from there in her 50s, then she kind of made her way out to Cascade.
Okay. Well, we are enthralled. And we will be right back. So stay tuned. KHTS 1220 AM, streaming online.
We are 47 degrees in Canyon Country. Keep it tuned here. You're tuned to Around the Barn with Heads Up on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Give us a call, 298-KHTS, 298-5487.
Welcome back to Around the Barn with Heads Up on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Bobby Jean, here with our producer and co-host today, Mike Dowler.
Who, me?
And our guest, yes, you, and our guest, filmmaker Joyce Fitzpatrick, and author Jim Christina. If you have any questions for our guests, please give us a call at 661-298-KHTS. That's 661-298-5487. We've been chatting with filmmaker Joyce Fitzpatrick about a journey that she's been on, meeting a historical figure in history, but who is a flesh and bones woman who had a tremendous life, and whose life spanned a very important time in our history as a nation. Joyce, as you followed Mary and she led you on this wonderful journey, you chose to document it through film. And what led you to do it as film rather than in a written word?
Well, originally I did start off planning to write a screenplay, which I am in the process of doing as well. And basically what I ended up doing was I decided to just go ahead and this started out to just be a documentation of my findings, just so that I could reference it with my writing. But it ended up, we were able to film so much, and we got so many interviews. In fact, the last living witness to see her alive, he was possibly 8 years old at the time. His name was Mr. Monroe. His father was the second mayor of Cascade, and he even referred to the time like the saloon. His father owned the saloon, and he was 96 or 97 at the time I interviewed him. And all of the different people in the town. But basically, that was what compelled me to just go there and kind of document it. But once I saw the footage, I said, my God, I should just turn this into a documentary.
We've got a phone call.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gail from Palos Verdes. Good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Gail.
Good morning. This is very fascinating. I'm wondering, I know for her to deliver mail she had to read and write, but did she learn after slavery, or did she learn while she was a slave to read and write?
To answer that question, Gail, it is. She basically, she was raised by the Dunn family, and Mother Amadeus, who later on became the sister who ran the mission, they were raised together, and so she learned to read and write before she was freed. With that, so she actually had already learned to read and write at that time. So,
which was also
amazing.
Amazing.
Yes, it was very
amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
Gail, thank you for your call.
You're welcome. I love this. I couldn't find it on my radio because I've been scouting around, and then I'm on the TV, and I'm like, I forget about I can use my TV. I mean, not my TV, but my computer.
Your computer. Well, that is so cool.
Your computer has a TV, though, really. So
yeah.
And you see, so Mary.
I'm like all excited here, but I was wondering about that because the old West intrigues me, especially when it comes to blacks in the Old West, because we don't hear a lot about
Certainly.
Absolutely. It is a chapter that we're going to be talking about it more.
All right.
Well, okay, well, Joyce, I want to thank you, and your story is fascinating. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Gail.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Bye-bye
you.
now.
Your show is great, guys. It's
Thank
really
you.
great.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
All right.
Let's go ahead and take sorry, Gail. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we will do business. It is 9:29 in the morning. Time flies. It's Around the Barn with Heads Up on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS, and on the web at hometownstation.com.
Not the best.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I'm here, Bobby Jean here with Mike Dowler, and our guest today, Joyce Fitzpatrick, and author Jim Christina.
And we're also on the web too at hometownstation.com, streaming live to the world. Anywhere you are, you can call us as well. 661-298-KHTS, 298-5487.
And we have a caller on the line,
We
I believe.
do.
Welcome.
Nanette from Los Angeles. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You had a
How is
question.
everyone this morning?
We're doing well.
We're doing well. Thank you so much for calling in. And we've got Joyce right here for you.
Hello.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Joyce.
Hi.
I was wondering, where can we see the film?
Well, actually, you wanted to know where you can showcase the film. We've already had one showcase, and it was very successful. And we're planning another one. If you want to contact me at Ms. Rewrite, that's MSREWRITE at AOL.com, and also become a friend of mine on Facebook, then I will let you know when the next screening will be, and I hope to see you there.
And my son Richard wants to know what is the rating of the movie?
It is definitely PG. Definitely.
Okay, great.
Definitely.
Great.
It's very
Something
educational.
I'd like to see.
And to
Great,
find
yes,
to find
yes.
you on Facebook. To find you on Facebook
Under
would they-
Joyce Fitzpatrick.
Joyce
for now.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
FITZ.
Z. And then P is in Paul. ATRICK.
Do you have a website as well?
The website is under construction
Okay.
right now, so that's why I'm referring everyone to the other two sites.
Very good.
But it's definitely.
Okay.
Nanette, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
And
stay
thank
dry
you,
and
Joyce,
have...
thank you, Joyce, for giving us African American history
Oh, you're welcome.
about a black female. That's fantastic.
Oh, thank you, and I hope to see you at the screening.
I will be there.
Please come up
Thank
and
you
say
so
hello.
much.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Nanette.
I sure will.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Alrighty.
That's so much fun. Thank you, callers.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
What a fantastic show.
Great
It is
show.
Black History Month, so again, take time to read about this very important part of our history.